Me down, I had to leave. I was trapped. Trees went back, me and Del were singing. Blue eyes, flying. I went down, you never would come to me. It's so it felt so good, like anything was possible. No cruise control, my eyes. I stayed there, the rain was unstoppable. It was always here, sunshine. Mystery. The sky grew dark. I put the pen down. Something good waiting down this road. I'm whatever's mine. I'm
Good morning, traders. I'm very sorry for the delay this morning. We were getting ready to crank it up and ended up with a technical issue and another technical issue and a few minutes to get that technical issue figured out from the first one and 3 points talking, and I'm frazzled already and I ain't done anything yet. I'm so sorry. I am very sorry. Michael says he's very sorry for the delay this morning. Again, sorry about that. we'll pick it up and see if we can't catch up here a little bit, and we'll get it fixed. Great to see everybody back in. Hope everybody had a good day yesterday. And let's see where these crazy markets are going to go today. I'm going to spend a little bit of extra time on this particular chart because, ladies and gentlemen, we have a pattern 5 puncture or pattern 5 breakout. So the pattern 5 breakout, when we were here yesterday morning, we were talking about this yellow price line, and that yellow price line is the price where the market has now punctured the pattern 5. This is a trend continuation move up now. Most likely it will continue to be up until 429. So we're going to go up on crude. The weekly says we should go up until basically May. So that's something interesting. Now, that brings me to another thought. Actually, not another thought. It just brings me to, where is this crazy market going? So let's look back left, and I'm going to go back a little bit in time. I could probably do this on a daily chart. I know I can do it on a weekly. So we're going to stick with the weekly for now. And I need to see approximately where the sucker could go, because I don't have any weekly signals this far back. They didn't start until, because I don't have that much data, they didn't start until 2016 on the weeklies. Yeah, because it takes 52, that's because 52 weeks is part of the calculation. So it takes quite a bit of room to get started. So if I look back into this range, this was a fairly large weekly range, and this range was in place since 2008 into 2015. Where would be the most significant support and resistance level during that time frame? I drew this one out, and there was where I expected to see the market go up into $103 a barrel. We obviously whacked the 103 number, and we have pushed up even higher. If I'm looking up, I do have, oof, that's a long way. Let's go ahead and carry one up. I'm going to look for places where I have almost like a trend line, but I'm actually looking for major resistance points in the market historically, weekly at a time. Looks like 131. So the logic and the methodology that I use when I'm doing this is I'm looking back in space, and I don't mind wicks. Wicks are fine, but I'm looking back in time, and I'm identifying that was the fall from grace right there. And when I'm looking back in time, I want to see multiple touches of the line, and I want to see where the line has caused resistance to happen. So this one gave us a nice touch. We had the wick through, made the punch through, came back down, wick, continuation up, back down. There we ended up in 2012 with a hard punch through the level, and then the wick touch, 4 times, resistance held down. That's actually pretty interesting, down to 103, which is where we have our current level. Right back up again, we hit the wick again here, the wick again here, punch through, come back down, test, and coming across the top, wick, resistance once again. Market came back to that same general area here in, what was it, 2013. We had a wick up, punch through, right back down, same area, once more on the chart. And before we made the big fall from grace, we had June 20th where we hit the same wick again. I'm very comfortable with that particular price. Now, one thing I've learned, this is now probably going to end up being very similar to our range of death. So the range of death, which is we rattle around in that for about 4 years earlier. And when we saw the range of death, this one's probably going to act similarly. Looking at this range, I'm going to use a fib retracement tool for just a moment, and I'm going to pull a 50% level inside the range. And so I identified the top of the range with the major cluster or the major touch points. I did not go to the extreme outside edges. Again, up here, I don't have a lot to reference by. So a single touch, that's not as impressive to me as having 15 touches or 20. So I've used those two levels for my analysis. So with this, I'm now going to go to the 50% level, and I'm going to use this as a projection, because I've learned historically with this particular market, that once we identify the top of the consistent range, the bottom of the consistent range, the halfway point, don't ask me why, but the halfway point of that range will also be very significant to this market. And I have a hunch that once we get back inside of here, we may stay here for a while. It'd be interesting to see where we end up going, but that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So that's what I'm looking at. That's going to be our new range for the market on a weekly scale. And right now the weekly is the one that it's easiest for me to go through and identify. We could look at it on a daily and probably come out with similar levels, but we're going to start off with our weekly. So all of that stuff being said, this is back in 2014. Now let's go to our current. Had a ton of stuff below that range, and now the market has made the punch up. Well, lo and behold, that's what we got. So the market has pushed back inside of the weekly support range, support resistance. This bottom arrow here, the 103.18 level, that represents the bottom of the weekly range from back in 2009 to 2014. So what, 5 years? So that was a 5-year range of the market. And we're now getting back inside. I will be looking for resistance at, looks like 117.17. I don't know that I would have called that out, but that's the number I'm getting. And then we're going to be looking for 131 at the top. So interesting numbers. So 103, 117, and 131. The 1-3s, that seems to be a thing with this market, at least where it was then. So let's see where we're going to continue to go. If the market pushes up into there, we might get a bounce off of that. I would expect to, based on the historical patterns of this market. So a little extra time here on this chart. Won't do this on the rest, but yeah, long, pattern 5 breakout, long. We're going to see if resistance goes. If the market gives us a pullback on the weekly scale to 103.07, then we'll look for a buy off of that one. It is a very good possibility that at some point this market will come back and close this weekly gap. So very possible that the market comes back and tests the open price line. Not saying we're going to go down, but I am saying that we will probably come back and test $90.59 at some point before we push out of sight. So watch for a pullback, and then we'll look for a bounce off the bottom down here. Long for today over on the weekly. All right, down to the daily. Daily is also long. We've closed our first 2 bars above with the war effort, and there's the continuation up. Watch for resistance, again, the 117 level hanging out right there at the top. We've now penetrated the buy dot as of yesterday, and in the overnight, we have pushed up even further. So these guys are on a tear, no holding them back. All right, well, there was the signal I talked about yesterday morning. That's a pretty solid one. Wow. That's the largest controlling bar range on crude I think I've seen in maybe ever. That may be the largest, which is $10. So it's a $10 single day range at a controlling bar range. That's a big one. Today, if today closes above, we're going to continue to go up. If today pulls back and gets inside, we have to wait another day. If it should pull all the way back down, I doubt it. But if it should pull all the way back down and get below 96, then we're going to go down until next Wednesday. But I doubt that's going to happen. We'll see where it goes. Support is going to be into market at the close of this bar. Let me hit my F5. I want to see that open price line print. There it is. Now, with that support level coming back into B, this is now going to be a markable level that I'm going to put on our chart. So we're now going to pay attention to 106.33. That's going to be support based on the daily. We'll see where we end up going. To the 1 hour, we inverted the zone yesterday. So as of yesterday morning at 9 o'clock, we were going to be favoring longs until tonight at 7 o'clock. So that one not too hard to see. The market made the breakout, inverted the power zone, again up until then. We put in close to a pattern 5 earlier today, small pullback, and there's a push on up. We'll see what it continues to do till 11 o'clock today. That's our next signal. So not much until late morning, and that's going to be a counter trend signal. Buy, 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 and nothing really to show. So no signals at the moment. At the 30-minute, the 30-minute had a trend reversal that came in earlier this morning. This one's a little bit less Zoftic than the hourly. The 30-minute says we're going to be up until 12 o'clock. So the market pulled into 5:30 this morning. We did get a small move down into 5:30. We did have a swing low that is at least within the last $10 range, although it's closed at $9 away. Geez Louise. I remember days they were 90 cents away. So this was $9 away on the 30-minute chart. Down into the buy time, not a super clean move as the market did push up into the buy time. I hate that it gave us a buying bar, but it is what it is. It continued to push on up there into 12 o'clock as we're coming into 11 o'clock and 12 o'clock. Today, the 30-minute says that today at high noon, we should expect a pullback into 7 o'clock or to 5 o'clock this afternoon. That pullback into 5 o'clock is consistent with the 1 hour. So good possibility we're going to move back down into 5. Let's pull this one over. We do have a new high, not unexpected. We'll see where there's the high and there's the current low until 6:30 Friday morning. So whatever happens today at 5 o'clock, we will identify the high and the low, and that is going to be a controlling factor until 6 o'clock Friday morning. Next signal up, 11 o'clock. So 11 o'clock, we have a pullback identified on the 30 and the 60. Down to pattern 5. This is a native power zone, buy until 11:15 today. So even the power zone here on the 15 also says up until 11:15. Right there's our current zone, and the 15 says 11:15 down until 4:45 this afternoon. So we'll see how that one continues to play itself out. We're now pulling down into the 9 o'clock buy signal. We'll see if 9 o'clock is going to give us a punch back up. If we get a selling bar here, we may get a little buy action right off the pit session open. We'll see how they do. Next signal after this one's not till 10:45. Entry level. Wow. In the entry level chart, go ahead and rescale the chart real quick. That one's going to go to here. Pull up to there. Yesterday morning, did I get any selling anything yesterday? There was a teeny tiny one here. Pull that one over. Perfect. All right. I'll repurpose those two. Figure out what I did with them. There they are. All right. We came 624 this morning. Let's pull this bad boy into 624. It was going to be in play until 10:15. Today is going to be the report. So likely to see some volatility today. Let's pull that bad boy to there and off of here. All right. So there's the high, swing low, pretty easy to see. Swing highs, pretty easy to see. We entered the power zone just about dead in the center. So this power zone entered in the middle, had a nice little push up. We actually had a push up and a small selling bar right on the buy time at 6:42, which would have given us the opportunity for a lower, not a great, but a lower risk buy. The market obviously performed very well there. Pushed on up higher, cut the breakout trade, continuation up. I'm going to be favoring longs here until 10:15. Currently, there is our high. I don't know where it'll be at 10:15, but wow, the range is fairly large at this moment. 10:15, the projection is to watch for the rollback over until 1:30 this afternoon. If you're going to be trading into the afternoon, it appears as though we're going to have a little sideways stuff, and then all of the time frames, interestingly, just about all of our time frames are in agreement for an afternoon pullback. So I don't know what the range will be yet, but all the time frames on the crude are saying up for the bulk of the morning till late morning, and then a pullback into the afternoon. So let's see where those continue for us to be. 903. Looks like 909 might be our first entry opportunity on this chart. So 903 would have to put in a pretty significant low. Favoring longs generally on all of our charts until 11 o'clock. Looking to the Russell on our daily. Well, we came into the sell time yesterday, closing below. When the morning time when we got here, we were teetering up here at the top. The market ended up pushing down and closing low in the day in the expected direction. The Russell is expected to continue this move down until March the 10th. So we've got 9 days left and watching for the continuation lower for the next 9 days. We do have support and resistance levels above and below us. So a sideways run through here, not a surprise, but we are moving currently in the projected direction. And again, we're expecting to continue so until March the 10th. On the daily cycle, what do I have on my daily cycle? Anything usable? Today is going to be the transition day on the daily cycle. Last week, we had the daily cycle signal. There was our first candle closing above, which told us that we were going to go up for the remainder of the week. Technically, this thing closed out yesterday. So yesterday was the last bar. We did get a pullback to the top of the power, or top, not the power zone, top of the trend zone or the controlling bar range, and stopped right there. Today, we are going to reset, which basically just means that today we will draw a new box. So today we will look for the open and the close. Currently, we're sitting, haven't had a whole lot of overnight action, but we'll watch and see where it closes today. We know where it opened, but we'll see where today's bar closes, and then tomorrow we'll see if we close above or below, and that'll give us an idea of which way to trade an option for the remainder of the week. So Russell is today is a transition day from the buy to whatever it's going to be. Looking down, short and short. All right, I drew this one out for us yesterday. 6 o'clock this morning. Crikey, look at that. So from 6 o'clock this morning, there is the high and the low. Holy cow. Until 11 o'clock tomorrow. All right, so the Russell, we came up into this time frame, 6 o'clock. The hourly said we should start to trend lower. We had a 5 o'clock sell. These are within one bar of each other. So off the 5 and the 6, hourly says down. So we are going to go downtown. We are now pulling down into a 9 o'clock buy. This is going to be a counter trend buy. The current trend on the market, or the current price action, we're currently back to the average price. The projected trend is actually down until, again, 11 o'clock tomorrow. So we've got a little bit of time left in here. Let me rescale this chart just to make me feel warm and fuzzy, and that does it. Yeah, so 9 o'clock buy, 11 o'clock sell, 11 o'clock. If we can get a pull up into 11, that would be a little bit cleaner sell. We'll see how the market goes. So 11 o'clock for our next major selling opportunity on this market. 3:30 yesterday afternoon on the 15. I didn't know where the range was, obviously, but I did know what time of day to watch for it, and right there it was. So as we pulled into 3:15 yesterday, the market gave us a push down. Pattern 4 at 4 o'clock. Pattern 4 at 4 o'clock, meaning that we put in a brand hammer new low, not an entry pattern 4, as it did give a huge wick and a buying bar. It is a pattern 4, but it was not an entry pattern 4. It did attain its profit target, but there's no way we were going to take that trade. Unless we just simply bought it off the bottom of the range or something, but that would have been about it. Market back down. We put in a equal low, almost an equal low. Oh, isn't that interesting? Now, last week we had some conversation here in the room about something that it may very well be relevant to the current range. So we're on a 15-minute chart, and Steve and Parker, this is what we're talking about. Iman, this is similar to the boxes we were talking about last week. I would submit that until the market goes below this price, we would look back to the last pattern 5, which happens to be here, the last pattern 4, which happens to be here, and we would use this as our controlling range. And the top of the box happens to be the exact same price as the top of my power zone. The bottom would be the bottom of that pattern 4, and this 15-minute likely to keep us in that range-bound market. Now, we have seen a push out of the top. So based on my rules, we're now going to be favoring longs. And that would be in keeping with, as long as we don't go below the low, the pattern 4 is still in charge. So the pattern 4 got tested, but didn't get violated. So this pattern 4 from 4 o'clock yesterday afternoon would tell me we're going to probably be long for a while until we get something else. But yeah, that's what you can look at. Again, that's similar to what we were talking about last week. I would be looking at here. So based on my rules for the power zones, the power zone rule said that the market closed 2 bars above the top yesterday. So one of the rules that the power zone gives me is it does tell me when things are going the other way, when things are not doing as I projected or as I expected. So it wasn't me projecting them, it was me expecting them. And that goes until, really? Okay, yeah, there you go. Let's reset. Something that looked right. There, that's perfect. So that's where we currently are. So we are inverted on the 15. The 15 closed 2 bars above the top of the zone, indicating that my trend projection was not continuing all the way through. This pattern 4 at the beginning of the month, at the beginning of the run, putting us into a little bit of a quandary there. Yeah, 1 bar. That's very interesting. And we've come full circle, and we broke out of the top, closed more than 2 bars above the top, closed 5 or 6 bars above the top. And it tells us that the 15 is now on the buy side. So we do not have full agreement between the 15 and the 60. They are diverged from one another right now. 60 says down, 15 says, yeah, I think we're going to go up for a while. We'll see who wins. And down to boogity boogity. All right. $5-minute. Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, that's so special, man. I'm gonna be like, now I can be all pissy at my customer. You never get pissy at your customer. Now I can be frustrated because if I'd have been here 15 minutes earlier, we might have got this one. Crap. Well, we just came into this selling power zone. We entered the selling power zone at a chop zone pattern 4 that occurred at 850. And I'm just a little bit too late to get to this. 850 was a brand new low with a selling bar with a long wick. And again, at 850. So I'm actually going to put a buy limit order here just in case. This is a counter trend, counterintuitive chop zone entry. You don't see these every day. They do occur, but they do not occur every day. Based on that, we would look for the market to go back to the top of the power zone. I'm not saying it's going to go up forever, but I am saying that the market should go back to the top of the zone and then roll back over. So with the 15 being long and the 60 being short, the 5-minute currently is in a projected short trend, but because we had this happiness right here, first bar into the move after the chop zone is a brand new low. This tells us that this market is going to go all the way back to here. So if I can get a buy entry there at 2011, this is going to put me in about 3.25 points of risk. It was a selling bar. Probably going to pull back to there off the open. I may let it sit there just to see, but it is going to go all the way back up to 2022. So this was a nice little run, 3.5 points of risk looking for 12 or 11. And it's already started to make the move very cleanly. I'm just late to the game for this one. My apologies if you're looking for that move. That was clean. Man, I hate that. That is absolutely a beautiful move. So the longs are going to be prevalent until the market gets back up into 2022.5. So until then, unfortunately, we don't have any other signals till 9:15. Now, if the market hits the top of the run at 9:15, if we hit 2022.70 at 9:15, that's a completion of the pattern 4, and it puts us into a pattern 2 for the move right back down. So let's see if we can get up into here. Then we might get a move back down again. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. All right, so looking forward, favoring the long until 9:15. 9:15, we're going to see if we get a pushback down to 9:35. So we have a divergence on that chart. Pulling into 9:09, we have 3 minutes to go. If we get a low close candle here over on the crude, make sure I'm not sitting on a pattern 5 somewhere, missed it there. 30-minute, nothing there, touch the top of the zone. 1 hour is just up forever. So yeah, if we get a selling bar here at 9:09, we may get a buy opportunity and a retest the top of that power zone. Not a huge surprise. So let's go ahead and set a limit order right there for just a second. Where's the open price line? It's not that far down. Normally it's not that far down. Today it's $1. Holy cow. Let's look at the ES for a minute while that one sits there and soaks. Yeah, let's pull this back over. All right, so looking at our EAS on our weekly is still to the short side. We're still projecting the short move down for a while. We hit weekly resistance yesterday at 43.78. We have weekly support at 42.98. So quite a bit of move down, and anything below here, the next support level is not until 22. So there's some room. Let's see if the market's going to continue. The ES is short on the weekly. Daily, we pushed up into the sell yesterday, closed the first bar below. I'm looking for a push on down into Friday. So the daily also short, weekly short, daily is short. This one's a reset, so we wait until tomorrow. We're into the shorting signal on the daily cycle as well. We need to see this current bar close. If the current bar closes below the bottom of the box, then or bottom of the range there, then we're going to go down until next Tuesday. We'll see how that one continues to work out. Last week, we had a very anomalous pattern. Doesn't happen very often. Very strange. I guess clearing war can do that. But today, we're on a transition bar, and I'm expecting to see it close outside this box. All right. The hourly is actually still long until 5 o'clock this afternoon. So long until 5 o'clock today over on the hourly. I'm going to look at my crude. She's pulling on down. I got 39 seconds. I'm looking for a buy off the top of the power zone potentially. We've got 32 more seconds, and we're going to close a selling bar into a buying time. See if we can't get a little something on the table. Early this morning, looking for a low risk area on the market. I'm only going to give it a few pips below the bottom of the bar once this bar closes. So 12 seconds. Looking for me an entry here, 8 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. All right, I got the fill and looking for a push back up for a little bit. Man, that was fast. This thing is blinking $150 right this second. I mean, they're blinking it. It's like blink. Holy cow, would you look at that move? Oh, it is so stinking fast. It's unbelievable how the volatility is so fast on this market right now. I'm going to go to a free position while I finish setting up our morning. I'm up quickly $250 in the move. There were days I was happy to get that half the day. With our current volatility, I think I'm going to take $150 off. I'm going to let it sit and soak for a minute. I don't really care. 150. Oh, wow. And look at the whippiness. Actually slipped me 3 ticks on the exit. Jeez Louise. Gonna be one of those days. All right, let's finish it up here. That's so fast, it's scary. Wow. All right. So we're looking for, the time warp says we should be moving down into 12 o'clock today and off of 12 o'clock. We'll see where they go. But 12 o'clock up and 4 o'clock this afternoon. So the next directional move in that move or that next direction is not till 12. So nothing really here for the rest of the morning, just generally on a buy projected trend. Down to here, interesting. 4:30 this morning on the 15. This morning at 4:30. 15 minutes said we're going to be favoring shorts. The projection was we would be moving to the short side until 11:30 tonight? Well, that zone has inverted. So we had a fairly clear range already in place right here. There's the pop, down, right back up, and fairly clear little range. The market did close 2 bars above the top in the first 3 or 4 bars. There was a time where I gave this a timing element, and this would have fit right in it. Normally, when you see that happen, that means that the underlying trend will go up until 11:30 p.m. So the intraday charts are not in agreement with the hourly right this, or with the daily right this minute. Dailies are saying short, and the intraday says, we're going to push it back up for a little bit. So let's see how she's going to go. At the boogity, oh, we are going to go up, aren't we? Crap, look at that 850 move. So late getting here. All right, here and here. So looking at our EAS today. All right. Did you get more than $10 off of that one, Steve? That was crazy. Oh, it was nuts how fast that stupid little move was. Couldn't believe it. I mean, it rocked. Yeah, I about was too. All right, we pulled in, ladies and gentlemen, to a pattern 4 this morning, right there on the ES. So the ES 5-minute put us in a pattern 4. It was a lower low close. We had ended up with a doji candle or a spinning bottom top candle right there at 850, and that one also gave us the entry opportunity. Risk of just a couple of ticks below the bottom. This can't, oh wow. Really? This selling power zone is in play all day. Interesting. So I'm not going to need that potentially till, well, maybe later. We'll see. But we're at a selling power zone. We entered the power zone from a pattern 4. When this happens, it's going to happen before, it'll happen again. When this happens, when we enter a power zone at a pattern 4, oftentimes the market will go to the other side of the zone. Then it'll come back down. When it gets to the other side of the zone, if it closes 2 bars above 43.40, then we will be taking the breakout to the long side. So we'll see how it continues to roll out. Probably going to see a push up in here. Lower risk, the higher we get and the closer we get to 43.39, the lower our overall risk in the move. So let's see what we get off of here and where this crazy market goes. Next signal up will be at 9:35. 9:35 will be in keeping with the direction of nothing. So both of our higher time frame charts on the hourly and the 15 are both saying long. The daily says transition, the other daily says down, and the weekly says down. So we'll see how the ES plays out today. Favoring the short, I will be overly excited about the short as soon as the market closes a bar below 43.09. Closing below 43.09 does put us into a breakout category for the downside, provided it doesn't happen at 9:35. So I want to see a push up and potentially a buying bar into 9:35. And the higher that we get, this is going to be the first 5-minute bar after the open. I'm looking for a pump and dump. I'm looking for the market to push it high, hit this level, and then we're going to sell it off right back down to the bottom of the zone or in a 10-20. So that's what I'm projecting to see happen. So we'll see how it does end up rolling out. If we end up with a brand new low at 9:35, which means the new low would have to be below here, at or below this price. If we hit that one at 9:35, then that's a pattern 4. And if it's a pattern 4, well, then I'll change my mind a little bit, or we may take a counter trend, but it has to be a super low risk setup if we're going to take that. Wow, there you go. The swing indicator printed it for me, so I don't have to print it now. So swing indicator is now telling us that that is a new low, and 9:35 is our next opportunity to do something. Crap, had this virtually the same setup at 850, and I missed that one. The one on the Russell was super clean. Man, it was super clean. Take it off now. All right, Russell has made a push higher. Now, notice we pushed up. We do have the sell time, but we closed a selling candle, which means I I ain't too awful happy about that. So we close the selling candle, and again, I really want to see the market come to the top of that range and then sell it off. So if we continue pushing up, oh, isn't that cute? Sometimes you have really nice correlation between time frames. Okay, sometimes not. Now check this out. As the market, look at 935. 935 is a buy time over on the Russell. 935 on the ES is a sell time. What would make the confluence between those two really solid would be a retest of here. If the market were to hit the top of the zone on the ES and or the Russell at the same time of day at that 935 signal, if that were to happen, then we would have full confluence. The buy would be a pattern 5, and we'd look for a pull right back down again. The sell would be a pattern 2, top of the range retest, and we would look for the push right back down again. So 935, the first 5-minute candle after the open, if the price sets up where we want it to, which would be here, and on the ES side, it would be here. If I can get a move up into there at within 1 bar, let's say 935 to 940, we'll give it a bar either way. If the market can whack that price, oh, I will sell this market both ways. So we will have full confluence potentially off of that number. Over on the crude, man, look, this looks like it's barely moving, but I mean, let's be real. The volatility today, right this minute, is at 47 points per bar. This is each of these bars is 50 cents. Holy cow, on a 3-minute chart, they're 50 cents per bar. Whew. And alive, that sucker cranking. So let's see where she's going to end up going. Right this moment, the ES is only sitting at 5 points per bar. So it's actually less volatility than we had yesterday, at least at the moment. So we're going to see how that one continues to play out for us. When we get down to the 925 bar, we're going to see what the ATR is. The close of the 925 bar, take whatever the ATR is on the 5-minute chart and double it, times 2. And that's going to tell us what kind of intraday volatility we're going to see this morning. So at this moment, it probably looks like we're going to be around 10 points. Yesterday, I think we were at 11. So that's pretty consistent here lately. Crude is the one that's off the reservation, 50 points. And we're actually down from 52 to 46 in the last 7 bars. Jeez Louise. We'll see where it goes. All right, so I have a plan. We have a plan. We'll see how that plan continues to play out. We're looking for this right there. So let's see if we can get the confluence of time and price. If we can get the confluence of time and price, yes, ma'am and sir, that sucker's going to roll right back on over. All right. Oh, did I just do that? I did do that. Closed out my thing by accident. Okay. Again, I apologize for running so far behind. At least we got a plan for the day. This is now going to act like a pattern 4. If we had a selling bar over on the crude on this bar we're at right here, I would probably buy it right back up again. It's acting just like a pattern 4. It's not a pattern 4 because the swing low is still forever below us. Ridiculous how the market is, how these price bars are scaled out right now is ridiculous. So absolutely ridiculous. I tell you what though, if the current bar in the next minute were to push down and give me a selling candle here, I might actually would buy it because I could get a low risk buy. Otherwise, I'm going to wait till 939. Uh-oh. I just got my notice from AMP that they're changing the daily margins again. Hmm. And they've put in reinstated day trade margins, stock indices, day and overnight session. Wow. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna double the intraday margins requirements. AMP is anyway. Oh yeah, for crude. So crude, they're doubling the intraday margin requirements for those of you guys that are trading with margin. Usually it's 500, and right now the CL, they're taking crude out to 2,000 for an intraday margin requirement. I think they're trying to slow down some of the crazy volatility. Interesting. So they're trying to slow down the volatility just a little bit. That's what it looks like. Hey Sam, is there a reason why I'm using ninja charts but enter my trades with AMP? Used to have an account with AMP, so wonder maybe I should look at that again. Yeah, they're trying to slow down the margin calls. That's exactly right. No, I don't. I have accounts with AMP. I have accounts with Stage 5. I have accounts with ADMIS. I can't even pronounce the thing. And I have accounts with NinjaTrader. So I kind of have. You might want to say that I have diverse numbers of accounts. So I have futures accounts with multiple brokers. And I use NinjaTrader for everything. Yeah, you can have accounts with any of those guys, and NinjaTrader is basically just your entry execution platform. Michael, I could see that with 50 points, basically at 50 cents per 3 minutes over on crude, a smaller account could get into a margin call really fast. Blink it fast. I could see that really being a thing on a smaller account for sure. I mean, that's just, I mean, we saw a second ago, we went from $0 to $250 in 12 seconds. It was bizarre how fast it was. And the move continued up, but it happened so fast. It's 5 times the typical volatility for this time of day, literally 5 times the volatility. ES is only double the volatility, and it's not even quite that. Today, we're only going to be at about 9 points per bar. So the ES today is going to be pretty calm. 925, we're sitting at 4.67. We're going to round that to 5. That means we're going to be 9 to 10 points of volatility per bar on our 5-minute chart through the intraday. So about average for the last few days, maybe a little above, it's still above average for what we had before January. New York Open, ladies and gentlemen, in 4 minutes and 16 seconds. I'm going to warm my coffee. I'll be right back. All right, coffee is warmed. That acted like a pattern 4 down there, but didn't quite get up to its target. Now pushing down to lower low. I'm getting a little giddy here. We have 1 minute and 19 seconds. ES and Russell both look like, man, I hate I missed that trade on the Russell, I swear. Damn it. Anyway, it certainly looks like we may very well get this opportunity at 9:35. So at least we get 5 minutes into the open. 9:39 is my next opportunity on the crude. I'm looking for a pull down and a selling candle at support. If we got down into some support here, the open price line at 108 would be nice. So if we get down into some support, 9:39. Nothing to do for the next few minutes. Let's watch the open happen. Our reference point for the pattern 5 on the Russell 2022.60. Our reference point for the pattern 2, 43.39 3/4 over on the ES, and a buying bar. I want to see a buying bar here on 9:35, and I want to see a buying bar here at 9:35. Pattern 5, ladies and gentlemen. Bammo. It hit. Now we get to see if the bar is going to close in a way that makes it worth doing. Come on. Don't turn back too soon. Still got a lot. So we've come full circle in the power zone. I'm looking for an entry, but I want to see a buying bar. So these guys have hit that price level over on the Russell. And so far, well, let's see what they do. 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Wow, ES starting to make the drop really hard right from the open. So again, I was hoping to see a pump and dump here. And we have generally pushed it up into that price line. 3 minutes. Let's see what the next a lot can change in 3 minutes. So hang 10. I got my sell limit order ready over on the Russell. Big volatility is probably going to happen. Take a quick look at any higher time frame, see if I have any correlating signals. No, 10-15 there. No help here. No help. Let's see about the 1 minute. The big old 1 minute. 1 minute also just now putting in a pattern 5. I can get a super low risk. I get a super low risk trade right here. 2 ticks above the top of that bar. If it goes on up, I'm out. Well, and it took it. So I took a super low risk short a little before the bar closed out. This was based on the pattern 5 on the 1 minute. So it's pushing on up. It looks like this one may push up to 937. I gave it one little shot, took it out. Again, I wasn't willing to give it forever. I will wait now for the close of the bar. So my 1 minute gave me a small opportunity inside of this 5 minute bar, and it popped through the 1. So no love and happiness there. All right, let's get a quick look. We're down to a minute before the bar closes. Looks like on the Russell, our overnight high is here. So the Russell, there's our overnight high. We're hovering just above the top of the power zone. 45 seconds left to go. I'm still looking for a short here within a bar. Let's wait till the bar closes and see what it's going to do. The Russell's nice clean setup. So far the ES, we're sitting on a selling candle. So the selling candle does not lend itself well for my low risk short. So I don't really have a really good clean thing there at all. Gonna have to have a little extra risk in some things today. Volatility, we're only about 3 or 4 points over on the Russell, but that last bar is pretty significant. New York open, 9 seconds left to go. See if I can get a little short entry opportunity here. 2-1. All right. Well, I sold it. And looking for a pullback to the dot price. A little more risk than I would generally like to have. It's like 2 points, 2.5 points of risk. So it's more than I would really want to have. But let's see if we can get a rollback down here from a pattern 5. It is a pattern 5, higher high buy time, buy price, big wick up. The 1 minute chart says I may have to wait an extra minute. So the 1 minute chart says I may have to wait till 9:37. You know what? I think I will. I'm going to give it room until 9:37, and I'll sell it again if we're at the top here at 9:37. So let's see what it's going to give us. I'm just going to give a little bit of room until the 9:37 bar close. All right, over on crude, see if we can get a pull down. I want to see a selling candle here after the next 3 minutes. ES, that's just, oh man, look at the ES. We may get a move down from here, guys and gals, but the risk here, we're probably going to see a move up for the next bar, and then we're going to see the move back down after that. So because we did close a selling candle at a selling bar, I would expect to see the market push up on this bar and then the very next bar roll back over. That's what I would expect to see. Let's see what we actually do get. All right, I'm going to lock in my risk in 5 seconds over on the Russell. We're into the sell time. And, well, there it is. I'm not going to give it any more than that. So this is the selling signal that was correlated to the 5-minute sell signal. This thing needs to hustle up. That's all the risk it gets out of me. Looks like it's going to pinch me. I hate this market some days. Well, they did it. All right. So no love and happiness off that last pattern 5 entry. Had a little open position profit, but not much. At the close of this bar, because this bar is a brand new high, this is our last ditch opportunity. I might get one more shot. We'll see how it closes out. 2 minutes. Ooh. All right, crude, we're pushing down. Volatility is still 46 pips per bar. We get a selling candle here in the next 52 seconds. I can get a buy and then a push back up toward that open price line. I want to see a selling candle, 43 seconds. I guess that's actually going to be considered to be a gap fill on the Russell. If I get back up into 2029, 890. Look at the crude. 210. Wow. Let's see if crude's going to give me any love down here. We're testing the top of the power zone. It's moved so fast and so far. Testing the bottom of the power, or the top of the buying power zone. This is a selling candle at a buying time, and I actually have a reasonably low risk move, which is only $100 of risk, which is in normal market conditions, that's like, oh, that's a lot of risk. In this market condition, that's like blink. So let's see if the market is going to respond the way we expect it to. The setup is clean. 2 ticks below, 3 ticks below the bottom of that bar. That's all it's going to get out of me. And see where it goes. I'm going to look for another short opportunity. Ah, look there. She's not working. It's wanting to be ugly. Come on. And I got pinched. You hateful pig. Man. I'm going to give it one more shot on that same candle. It pinched me and shot right back up again. Whoops. Uh-oh. ES, I was putting a sell limit just above the top of the bar there. Oh, I got like 4. Whoa. I'm way over my head here. Hold on. Jeez Louise. Hold hold on. Wow, blinked and all of a sudden I'm in 3 positions. I forgot I left that ES trade sitting there, you pig. All right, we'll probably get a pullback to here, at least, maybe further down, but that should be at least a good start. Holy cow. All of a sudden, it's all over the place. Hang on. Woo. Getting a little punch through on the crude. Come on, crude. I'm entering long at the top of the power zone. I've got a wick down. Just the volatility alone is being bananas. 10 seconds going to close out this bar. I want to see the market, see if we're going to get a roll back up. You better get on up there now. All right. Jeez Louise. Wow, the volatility is just bananas. All right, $220 locked in. I lost a couple of small moves there over on the crude. I'm still in the short on the ES. I'm going to lock in more profit on the crude. If we get a move up, great. I'm going to let it sit now for a few minutes. ES. Okay. Russell is, all right, I got some profit off the crude. All right, now I'm kind of hung on my Russell trade. Testing the daily cycle level. So we're back up in 2032.20. I'm fairly upside down. I'm going to sell it again at 950, see if I can't work my way back out. ES, we closed a selling bar. I wasn't willing to take the short at the bar. I wanted to see a pullback up, and it pulled up, and I was going to put it at the dot price, and it kind of got away from me. So if I'm honest about it, it really, I forgot I had it sitting there, and I was focusing on something else, and it got away from me a little bit. So as we get close to the top of this zone, I'm expecting to see a pullback to at least the open price line, which would be 24. That's only 8 or 9 points away. If it gets back down to there, I'm going to lock something serious in. We are still within 2 bars. We're within 2 bars of the sell time. If we hit our daily open there, go up, and all right. And I scaled into the position at the retest of the overnight high. So retest of the overnight high, I'm still within 2 bars of the power zone, working my way out. Next signal's not until 1020. I'm gonna let this one sit and soak and see if it'll pull me back down. I expect it to come back and retest that open price line, which I can get some decent profit if it comes back to there. I don't have anything to do on the Russell till 950. Geez Louise. This is gone. It went from nothing to madness in like 2.2 seconds. Nuts how fast this happened. All right. Hanging 10. Russell has me a little concerned for the main reason that it looks like we're going to close our 3rd bar above the top of the power zone here. And with this 3rd bar closing above the top, it is going to invert the zone, which is a big deal because this zone was going to be in play the rest of the day. And we'll probably come back at some point and retest the top of it, but 6 seconds, it is inverting. And with that inversion being in place, again, we knew it was going to go to the top. We didn't know it was going to go above the top. So we knew it was going to go to it, and it has now pushed through, which means the remainder of the day, the trend will most likely be up unless the market pulls all the way back down and closes 2 bars below 2008. The trend is probably going to be up for the bulk of the day, if not all day. So right now I need to see a pullback so I can get myself out, basically. So I am now counter to the trend in an awkward position there. ES closing 1 bar above the top is not part of a pattern 5. Therefore, we're going to give it only 1 extra bar. If this bar that we're on now at 39.75 doesn't close back inside of that red box, then I'm going to be in a little bit of trouble on both of those 2 positions. Brr. Ah, man, it's so far upside down. All right, crude. Oh, we are coming into a pattern 4 on crude. So I took a little bounce off the top of the power zone. The market punched through, and coming into this pattern 4, looks like crude's going to be looking for 1, 2, 3 consecutive lower low candles into 951. So if we can touch 108.45, which we just did, this is now automatically a pattern 4, favoring the longs still. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a range expansion bar. It's 100 pips and 1 3-minute bar. Woof. Yeah, and that's the reason that they increased the margin requirements right there. All right. Oofta. All you can say about that thing is oofta. All right, if I can get a low close selling candle here, I might buy it, anticipating the next bar to push back up. I'm looking to buy it either way because it is a pattern 4. I just want to get as low a risk as I can. Lately, we've been getting really nice pattern 4s off the first bar of the sequence. So that's a lot. Risk 47, the risk is going to have to be 40 pips. I'm going to wait. At 40 pips, let's see if the bar we're on now will push down and give us a low close, something close to 108.18. So let's see if we can get a push down here. A little bit of trouble over on the Russell and the EAS. Again, volatility is off the reservation here, so. All right, Russell, we pulled up into our second daily resistance level at the selling time. I'm going to use this as a scale in price. Be my first one. My first one, I'll use scale in at resistance. Anything after that would have to be a pattern 5 before I'm going to add a contract. So that's kind of my rule. If I rescale into a position, my first one I can scale in at resistance. My second one, if I have to do another one, it has to be at a pattern 5 or a higher time frame chart. In either case, this is my first resistance scale in, and it's coming in at a pattern 2. 12 seconds to close out the bar. It's a buying bar at a selling time, counter to the trend. I'll sell that sucker up. If I can get a pullback to my daily support level here, which would not be a huge surprise. If I can get that, then I can get out of my trade. Look at these pumpkin heads. Nothing to do now unless I get a pattern 5. I got to let it sit. All right, doesn't look like I'm going to get a tradable pattern 4, not yet anyway. I would need the bar that we're on right now to put in an equal low to 108.10. So far, no love. Well, that was quite the push on the ES. They closed the second bar up here, not part of a pattern 5. Crap. All right, well, I'm stuck here for a moment, letting it play out. 42 seconds. It's not a great setup. It is a pattern 4 setup, but it's not super clean at all over on crude. And today, with this kind of volatility, it needs to be super clean. It really does. There are days where I will fudge it because I kind of know, but today is one of these days. If I fudge it too much, it's gonna hammer me really hard. And I'm already in a compromised position, so to speak, over on my other 2 markets. So if you are in on the crude, your profit target is 109.17 from the long entry there at, well, 108.37. So the risk to reward ratio is pretty good, but it is a very volatile trade. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to get another opportunity at 10 o'clock. If I can get a sell signal into 10 o'clock, down close candle, then I can buy the market back up, and I'll use that one. As it is, we're in a pattern 4. Let's see what the 10 o'clock signal gives us. We have a trend reversal that's expected to occur at 10:15, starting 10:15. Looking for a trend reversal there on the crude. And right there is our current power zone. Crude report will be out. In fact, we didn't even look at the econ schedule, did we? Let's see what we got today. March the 2nd. Oh man, look at that. Powell is going to testify today. Uh-oh. That one's going to be interesting. So 10 o'clock, hang on. This thing's likely to get a little on the whippy side. This might still be a pump and dump, as these guys may be just screaming this thing up into Powell's testimony. I didn't realize that just now. But yeah, that's coming out in 4 minutes and 12 seconds. So Powell's going to start testifying. That's going to be a big deal. OPEC meetings are today. Crude inventories are next econ after Powell begins to mess everything up. 10:30, we're going to see what happens there. This afternoon, beige book. This is not usually a big thing. We'll see. All right. I'm going to let my position sit over on the ES. I think it's going to come back and hit right there. These guys are, I think it's still a pump and dump. They just overshot the runway. We'll see. See if we get a move down at least until 10.10 or 10.20. If it'll move on down into a selling candle at the next buy time, maybe I'll just close it out there. That would be kind of nice. Little overshoot here from the word go. Econ's out, ladies and gentlemen, 3 minutes. Russell just about back to my parity price. ES had me in the plus side there for a couple of points there for a minute. You put a push on down until, again, 10.20. Econ's rolling out. I'm expecting to see a deeper pullback for just a few minutes. Maybe let's see if this will make our day. Volatility, we're sitting at about 9.3. So the volatility so far is pretty close to the projected. We were projecting 9 to 10 points, and we're sitting at 9.33. So that's in the 9 to 10 point range. Let's see what Powell does to the market here. These guys are going to start listening to him blab about something. About a minute and a half. Oh, my body woke up today. Okay. The crude is pushed up into the buy time. For 50 seconds, we're going to close this candle out. The profit target off the crude was 109.16. This is not closed out. It has moved up. Your first target, if you're trading multiple lots, again, this was a risky trade for me, but if you were trading multiple lots, your first target is always off at the dot, at the upcoming signal, or the dot value of the sell dot, whichever one comes first is your target one. So it looks like this one's going to end up being a push up into a buying bar. Yeah, they're going to close out a buying bar here. If they pulled it down into a sell bar, I'd actually buy it again. I don't think that's going to happen. So I think we're going to see a little push down here for the next few minutes. We'll see. I guess I actually did get a selling bar right at the last second, didn't I? It's like a doji. No, it's not a super clean move. If we get a pull down, I might be interested, but not where it is. Still risky. Trend reversal at 10:15. All right, Powell is yapping. What's he going to talk about today? Canadian dollar overnight rate. What's Powell talking about? I'm going to guess he's talking about inflation. Due to testify semi-annual monetary policy before the House Financial Services Committee. Okay, so talking about policy. More hawkish than expected is good for currency, whatever. Yeah, so he's not talking about the Ukraine. Morning, Colin. Good to see you this morning, brother. Well, that pattern 4, target 1 would have been out at 63. Target 2 is 17. Again, the risk was just too much for me. It's too big of a wick. My next opportunity on the Russell is 1010, nothing till there. Next opportunity to do anything on the ES is not till 1020. 1030, 1030, we're going to pull into a pattern 5, so I'll wait. 15-minute chart's going to give us a P5 at the 1030 close of the bar. And then 12 o'clock's a pattern 5 on the 1 hour. So I'm just letting my stuff soak. I have really high confidence that I'm going to get out of these this morning. Just getting the econ out of the way. I think we're going to pull back to that dot price line or the open price line. Target attained, targets all out over on the crude. And next thing on crude up is 1015. We have a projected trend reversal at 1015. We'll see what it does. So far, not much here. Crude volatility, we're back up to 50 cents, right at 50 cents per bar. Oh man, is that thing cranking. Things that make you say, That's one of them, Collins, we were talking about it earlier. Were you here? We were talking about that AMP has increased its margin requirements for crude because of the volatility. They're getting too many margin calls. All right, I'm looking for, I'm gonna look for an exit here. I'm down to 2.5 minutes to close out my bar over on the Russell. I'm coming into a buying time at a selling bar. At this point, I'd be happy just to get out with a point because that one's really compromised. I'm not really overly keen with where that price is sitting. Oh, 2, 1. All right, let's see if I can. All right, I got a 1.75 out over on the Russell. It may go further, but I'm counting down to the end of my bar. Wow, look at her go. Nice move. ES, I'm looking for a retest to the top of the, ES was not quite as compromised position as the Russell was. And now I'm up 6 points on the ES. I don't think I'm going to give all of that up. So being up 6 points, I'm going to let that one continue to go. 7 points now on the combination of the two, and I want to see a move back to 43.26. So if we get back to right there, that'll be a really clean target one for me. As it is, Ron's not going to take a loss. Come on, give me a pop. Almost down to my target. I got a minute and a few seconds to close this bar. I want to see I'd like to see the target out on this bar, but if it doesn't, then I'm up enough now that I'm not looking. I'm not going to take a loss on this move. I think I will have 5 points no matter what. It'll push on down a little bit more. Good deal. Target attained. So I got 15 off the first one, or 10 or something off the first target. Looking for a move down to hit that daily support level on number 2 down here. And I can be fairly content. Oh, we got another one right there. Yeah, let's not be too awfully greedy. I'll be content at 43.17 off my last signal there. And as it is, I think I'm going to take the same amount on both. I have 20 seconds left to close this bar. Big down candle. And with this big down candle, 23.43. I had to wait for a little while. So again, they did a punch through, and I kind of knew what was going to happen, but they certainly did overshoot it some. And with current volatility and all that kind of mess, probably not a surprise. But closing the bar out in 4 seconds. Probably going to get a little buy action off the next bar. If the next bar puts in anything lower, then I'm going to hang on to it for a while. As it is, I think I'm going to go ahead and lock in 43 into 24. That would be 20 points. You know what? Let's not be overly greedy. So there's 17 points locked in on the second half of that position. Not normally upset if I get a 20-point trade. So took some heat, though. I would have to give it that. It took some heat. And I think I'm going to take it all out at 24, which is going to be 19 points. So if I can get 19 points, 24 and a half, it'll be 18 and a half points on my second one there. Let's go right to the bottom of that candle. There's 19 points of profit locked in. And again, if we get anything lower than the previous bar, then we're probably going to come all the way back into 43.08 here. So I took several points of heat. And at this point, I have 20 points and commission locked in on that second half. So I've got 20 points plus commission because we put in a lower low. All right, now I'm done. Let it sit there for a while, and I'm not going to do anything else with it for a little bit. See if it'll keep going down. If it pulls back up, again, I've got 20 points locked in. I don't care. All right, I'm out on my last position there, 20 points. Likely to see a buying bar here. Anytime you get a giant hammer candle down, the next bar is good possibility to see a pullback up. So I'm flat everywhere. Again, with volatility like it is, ladies and gentlemen, you got to be able to give the market a little bit of room. I'm looking for as low a risk entries as I can, but sometimes it's just not easy. Okay. Crude has my interest at the moment. Now, crude, we're coming into a projected downtrend on crude. Let's blow this chart up for a second. Michael, did you get anything else off that little move? I know Mr. Senegal was playing with that ES, looking at it anyway. All right, so we're coming into a projected downtrend on the crude starting here at 10:15. We got almost 2 minutes to go. The downtrend is projected to start at 11:15 on the 15-minute chart. 30-minute chart says the downtrend should start at 12 o'clock. And the 1 hour chart said the downtrend ain't never going to happen. Actually, it is 5 o'clock this afternoon. So we have a beginning of what is expected to be a new trend starting as early as a minute and 20 seconds from now. Now, here's the thing. Much like we saw earlier this morning, this has the potential at this moment, if the market will touch 108.09, then this will be a pattern 4 on a power zone entry. Now, pattern 4 on power zone entry means that it is very likely that the market will go to the other side of the zone. Same exact thing we saw this morning, pattern 4 beginning move on the ES, the exact same thing we saw on the Russell. So that setup is occurring now on the crude. If crude can push down for, well, it needs to hit 109 or 108.09 in the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds. So if it hits that price in the next 3 minutes and 30 seconds, then we're going to have an additional pattern 4, or not an additional, but we will have a pattern 4 and a pattern 4 indicating that we should see a move to the top of the power zone. So there's a potential for a fairly low risk move here. Unfortunately, we do have the econ coming out in 20 minutes, 15 minutes now, 16, 10, 14, 16 minutes. We have an econ coming out in 16 minutes, but let's see what the market gives us. If we touch 108.09 in the next 3 minutes, has to be there. If it touches in the next 3 minutes, we're going to look for the push right back up again. See what happens. What do you think, Mr. Senegal? Did you get anything off that pullback? That wasn't a bad little move. Took forever, but it got there. Oof. All right, we are in an inverted buy power zone, and we've had a strong pull down now into a buy time. That move is over, so not looking for shorts any longer here. I'm looking for buying opportunities. If the current bar on the ES, which still has 4 minutes, if the current bar can give me a sell, in other words, it'll push, if I can get a selling bar here, or even a doji, I'd take a doji, then I'm going to buy the ES market right back up. If it gives me a buying bar, then I'm going to wait. We'll see what happens. You know what? That got me in trouble last time. I better put this one way down here. So I'm looking to see if I can get a selling candle at the close in the next 3.5 minutes. If I get a selling candle by the close, then I can buy the ES right back up again. Come on, crude, give me a push down. Crude needs to get a little bit of an extension down here. Get an extension. Oh, come on, ES. Give me a selling bar. Looks like it's going to give me a buying bar. Michael said he's looking for the move back down to 42.70. Ooh. Ah, yeah, back down to retest the low of day. I see 78 down there. You're looking for 70. Ooh. Yeah, that's a pretty good move down. Oh, I see why too. Yeah, that move yesterday at 410. All right, well, crude not really giving me a setup. We closed a selling candle at a selling time. Market's likely to be sideways for the next 10 minutes. We do have the report out. I'm going to sit on the side on crude. I think until the report, 10:39, right after the report, we do have a sell time. We'll see where the market is setting up there. I think I'm just going to sit on the side through the econ. There's no need in pushing it a whole lot through the econ. Everybody okay out there? You guys awfully quiet. Good deal. Steve said we are good. 20-point day on the ES. Yeah. Sweet. Yes, sir. Good job, Steve. Love to hear that. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, there you go, Colin. Yeah, that's the hard thing. Yeah, I'm sorry you got to lick your wounds a little bit, but hey, you're doing good today. You got back on the saddle. That's what counts. API report yesterday said we were down 6.1 million barrels, according to Earl. The estimate for today is a buildup of See, how does that work? If you say that if they say that we're down 6 million, but they say that we're going to have a buildup of 2.7 million, I really don't understand how that math works. Apparently, I didn't get enough education because somehow that math does not jive. Crude report out in 9 minutes. Yep, 9 mementos. She's coming. All right. Well, cruise moving in the expected direction. We pulled down into the buy time, counter trend, buy signal. Watch for a small push back up here, and 1039 we'll look for a sell. I don't really have anything else going on right this moment. We did not get a pattern 4, so therefore we should be expecting to see the underlying trend to the downside. I'd almost be willing to put a sell limit order off the breakout down. I really would. Look for a breakout trade short here. That'd be interesting. I'm looking for a push up or just a bar or two, but we are actually looking for the trend move down, and we do have a new low. So the trend is starting to roll back over. Oh, down at my 4309. Yeah, because my zone has changed over to the buy side, Steve. We closed several bars above. I'm cautious here because if the market comes back, that is the open of the day price, and that's but like my lowest risk buy area on the chart right now. So if the market were to hit that price, it would have to do it on this bar. Well, it would have to do it on this bar. So if it hit it on this bar, I would take a bounce off of that bottom of that power zone level. But time-wise, it needs to hustle up. I'm only going to get that opportunity if it happens within about 2 bars. All right, Econ's out in 1 minute and 50 seconds. Favoring longs on the ES, favoring longs on the Russell. Crude is favoring shorts. I really would be tempted to take a breakout trade here. We'll see what it does. Looking for a breakout trade on crude at the Econ. And then we have our next signal up will be at 1039. Make sure I'm not sitting on like a pattern 4 somewhere. I can't say a breakout if it's a pattern 4. Well, somebody likes whatever Powell is saying. 11 o'clock. 107.29. 107.29 becomes a pattern 4 2 ways. So if we do get a breakout trade here, guys, coming in 10:45, if we hit 107.29, which is down here at the bottom, if the market were to hit the bottom of that buy zone, we got to be out by then. Which normally I'd say that's pretty tight, but in this case, it's like, you know, $400 down. So yeah, they like whatever Powell's saying. Right off the buy time, market not deep enough to give me the buying opportunity. She's now up at a new high a day, so they're excited about him. Looking for a possible breakout trade on crude. These guys are firing it up. I'm favoring the short for a little while. I'm gonna see if I can get a breakout here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Again, I'm aware if I hit the low, I got to be quick on my game here. I'm going to have $120 at initial risk. If it doesn't pop the low in the first 3 minutes, then I'll just take it off. So I'm going to give it the close of this bar to see if it's going to break out below the low of the last buy signal. Again, if it doesn't, it doesn't. It's fine. Talk about some crazy volatility. The projection was 10 points a bar, and we've exceeded that. Somebody got excited here on this last econ, and we've now gone to 13 points per bar. So the volatility is now 30% greater than the projection. Volatility is off the reservation. Oof. All right, let's see what this crazy thing came back as. Crude inventories, the projection was 2.5 million barrels in reserve, came in at negative 2.6 million barrels in reserve. So we've used more than they expected we would. That should be a positive sign. We'll see what the market does. So far, the reaction is back to the buy side. 10:39, we'll get our next selling opportunity. Minute and a half left to close out this bar. ES and Russell, both big volatility here. Russell shot up into the 1030 sell signal counter to the trend. It was a buying time at a buying bar at the sell time. Watch for push down. 1045 is my next one I'm really interested in. That's a fairly lackadaisical crude report. It's moved up 75 cents, which is in normal market conditions, that's a really good one. In these market conditions, that's like a meh. Okay, so not much else to see here. Does not look like I'm going to get my breakdown in the first 3 minutes, so I'm going to leave it alone. We're going to get a push up into 1039, and 1039, good possibility I'll get a shorting opportunity off of 1039. We'll see how that one runs. Projected trend is down until the 15-minute, also coming into the projected sell, 1045 and 11 o'clock. Nothing to do till then. Nothing at all. Nothing. No, I don't think you did, Earl. The oil shortage joke? No, I don't think I've seen that one. All right, I was looking for a push up into the sell signal over on the crude, and it's going to end up giving me a pattern 4. Okay, well, it's going to be a counter trend, counterintuitive move, and I'm going to look for a buy here, I guess, because, well, that's what it is. Going to get a low risk buy, counter trend, counterintuitive. Counter trend, counterintuitive move. See if we get a little move up. I have very little risk. I say very little. Comparatively speaking, I have very little risk. Huge down candle. If it goes below, it's still big risk, but comparatively, it's not. I say big risk. It's what, 13 cents? All right. Well, I'm gonna wait for this bar to close, and then once this bar closes, we'll see where it goes. The big old candle. It's actually a range expansion bar down. This is a stop run. Minute 55 seconds. They just hit the pattern 4 over on the 15-minute as well. Pattern 4 is hitting across the board here. So that was the price. I might should have let it sit there for a minute, but I didn't. If it'll close out again, I'm going to get one more shot at this thing. We'll see it close out a minute and a half. If it'll close me a selling bar here in the next minute and a half, I got one more shot at trying to get a low risk counter trend opportunity. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I'll leave it on the side. The bottom of that power zone, this little bottom of this green box, identifies that particular price is a pattern 4 on 2 higher time frame charts. If the market touches 31, it's automatically a pattern 4 on 2 higher time frames. The overnight low is also coming in at 107.12. We have 55 seconds. So if the market pushes down, again, and there it goes. If it even hits that price, which it just did, it is now automatically a pattern 4 on 2 higher time frames. If this 3-minute bar closes a sell in the next 39 seconds, I'm going to buy it again. Come on, pig. 22 seconds. Come on, close the bar. A lot of times if I get too jumpy, then it'll end up costing me in the end. So again, I'm looking for as low risk as possible, and that risk can't be solidly put in until the bar actually closes. I could have got a little better on this one. 3, 2, 1. All right, well, if it'll hustle, it's a pattern 4 now on a 15, on a 30, and the last ditch effort for a pattern 4 on a 3. Got 22 cents at risk. The market has to get back up above 107.73, or I have until 10:48. So let's see if it'll push back up here a little bit. I got $220 at risk of 22 cents. Bigger risk than I would like, but that's what the market's giving me. My risk reward ratio is gigantic. I mean, it could come all the way back up to here, but you've got to hustle. I need to see this candle up and above 73. Very counter trend move, ladies and gentlemen. I'm up $300 on the move. I think I want to go to a plus position, or at least a free position. The perfect entry here was 22, which is right at our number 21 mark. And we're pushing up just above the open price line. I have 50 seconds left to close this bar. I'm up $400 in the trade. I'm not going to give up $400 and take a loss. I'm just not, because I'm just not. So again, being up $400 in the trade fairly quickly over on our crude, we are going to close this bar. It looks like we're going to close it above the open price line. However, sometimes this is really hard to say. So the move is working. Counter trend, counterintuitive, $500 up, big volatility. And my very next bar is a buy time. Ding, there it is. All right, I'm going to grab $400 off this trade. It may scream right on up into the next signal, but I think I need $400 for it just because, well, I'm greedy. So getting $400 locked in on the trade, and that's what I'm going to get. So I grabbed $400 off this counter trend, counterintuitive move. If the market pulls down now, we're coming into the buy time. And yeah, anything below 107.20 becomes a breakout trade short. Oh, that's hilarious, Earl. That's funny. That is quite funny. The dipstick. Yes, sir. That is funny. I needed a little bit of a laugh this morning. Thank you. Politically incorrect, but funny. Oh, man. All right, crude, we are pulling into a buying time. We are below the bottom of the power zone, so it's going to be a counter trend buy. Already took some money off the pattern 4. Not a terrible exit. And because it's a 15-minute pattern 4, I'm not going to take a breakout trade. So I might regret it. Probably won't. It is a 15 and a 30-minute pattern 4. Both of those are in effect. It's likely to be close to a P4 here at 11 o'clock as well. So because of that, I'm not going to take a breakout trade. But I tell you what, we may get a contributing move back up again. Let's see what happens here in the next minute. This is a selling bar at a buying time. I think I'm going to look for a counter trend buy here, and I'm only going to give the risk below the bottom of the bar. So that's all the risk that I'm going to give it. So I got 10 cents of risk, and if it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, it's counter trend. So if it's counter trend, it has to be low risk, and that's all the risk is going to get out of me. So I'm not going to do any more than that. Nah, I gave it a shot. Shot's over. No more. No, I'm not going to play with it forever. I was willing to give it that one little bit. Nope, nada. Counter trend buy time, selling bar into a buying time. I was going to see if it would shoot straight back up, and it didn't. Look there, it's going to take it an extra 2 minutes to do it. So I'm not going to sit there and play with it forever. Next signal, if we do get a move up from here, if we can get a buying bar at 1054, I can sell it again. So I'm looking for a buying bar in the 1054 so I can sell it again. ES got a sell time in a buy trend. We're favoring the longs on the ES, favoring the longs on the Russell. I wasn't paying attention here. We actually had a pattern 5 long on the Russell, pull back down. Do I have anything telling me I can't break out on the Russell? Look at that big volatility on this thing. Wow. That daily resistance level has been hot for a while. We put our pattern 5 earlier, and I tell you what, I don't see any reason so far that doesn't work. All right, bar is closed. This was a pattern 5 earlier. If it breaks out, if the Russell breaks out above the price we're at now, it has potential for a breakout and a run for a while. So if it breaks out above 43.90, it's clear. It's actually clear to go up for a while. The next daily resistance level is not until forever, all the way up into 2110. So if the Russell gives us a breakout trade here, this would be a pattern 5 breakout, which is a continuation move into 1130. So let's see if the Russell is going to give us a late morning breakout long. ES into the sell time above the power zone. We are favoring buys. Have been since 950. All right. Crude, if I can get a look at the signal congestion on crude. That's kind of ugly. If we do get a short opportunity on crude, it's really only likely to last 3 minutes. So if we get something here, it doesn't have much time, which basically means I would look for an exit after about a minute and a half. So I don't know if we're going to get anything. Very tight. Signals are back to back. It's probably better to wait for the 1106 signal. I don't see anything else really happy setting up right here. We have another pattern 4 now forming on crude. It's an additional lower low selling price at the selling time. Looks like I'm going to get another counter trend move. Again, this is also, we're also coming into the pattern 4 on the 15-minute at 11:15 where we have a trend reversal. Daily support's just below us at 106.37. This is a solid pattern 4 on the 30 in the buy trend. 3 consecutive down bars or 2 consecutive down bars. 106.33 is likely to come right back into play. We'll see what happens here in the next minute or so. Lower low selling price at a selling time. Counter trend. So anything buying here is very counter trend. Has to be low risk. And again, look for a scalpy target. Profit target is going to be probably around, it's probably going to be around 140 pips. Oh, wow, this volatility. Insanity. I want a really low close candle here. All right, I got a very low risk counter trend, counterintuitive move over on the crude. Up quickly $140 in the trade. I'm nervous about this because this market's been screaming down forever. If it'll take off and get some momentum, there's quickly $150. Man, this thing's $150 at a blink. Oh, tell you what, give me my $100 back I lost on the last one. Oh, I can't even keep up. The volatility is so stinking fast. It's hard to even keep up with it. Jeez. Okay. Well, it would have given me more. I tried to adjust my stop a little too quickly. But I got $100 off the bounce. Counter trend, nervous about counter trend moves. Nervous Nelly, that's what you can call me. I'm a nervous Nelly. Well, I'm out. It didn't give much more, did it? Close of the bar. We have one more counter trend, actually a counter trend, but it's not as counterintuitive. This is the last bar of a pattern 4. And again, 106.32 is a daily support level. At the buy, I might try it one last time. It's going to be the same kind of deal. It's got to be a super low close candle, and at the close of the candle, I'm going to look to buy it if the candle closes right at the bottom or with less than 10 ticks of risk, or less than, let's say less than 15, because volatility at 60 cents per bar, 10 cents of risk or 15 is pretty low risk when the market's moving 60. It better be low risk. This is a pattern 4 and it's a pattern 1 at the same bar. And it's the pattern 4 on our 15-minute sell time. So we're going to enter the new projected sell trend on the 15-minute chart at the extreme low. Again, like we saw earlier, that'll oftentimes push the market way back up. Pattern 4 now on multiple time frames. If the bar will close close to the bottom, we just hit the overnight low, first time in a while. So we hit our overnight low over on the crude. 19 seconds to close this bad boy out. 10 seconds. Come on. Wow. The risk is becoming obnoxious again. It's probably going to scream right up, guys, but I can't handle. I say I can't handle. I'm just not going to handle that kind of risk. So if it'll fill me where I'm at, it got within just a tick of me just now. 36 was going to put my risk down here at around 14, which is still a lot, but based on the size of the candles, it's not. Again, I want to see something super low risk. This is the last bar of a pattern 4, and again, if it'll fill me here, fine, because my risk could be really low, and it's a buy. I mean, it is very counter trend, so it better be low risk. Even there, I'm willing to give it. I'm gonna have to give it 13 cents, but I'll look for a pullback up to at least 105.74 if I get the fill. So super duper low risk is the only thing I'm willing to accept. I'm not willing to jump into the market here at the pattern 4. The wick was too big. The ratio is really nice, but it's just too much for me. Well, looks like she's going to run on back up. Profit target off this thing would be 108.30. I'm not going to get the fill. It's already made a big move. Anybody get it down here? I know some of you guys are willing to take a lot more than I am. Anybody get a piece of the crude? It's back up into some daily resistance. Got 45 seconds to close out our 3-minute bar. Counter trend. If this 15-minute wasn't sitting where it is time-wise, I'd take a breakout short on the other side of it. Kind of a nuts little move here. On my EAS, haven't had anything to do for the last little while. Had a counter trend short off the buy signal. I wasn't really interested because it was counter to the trend off of a pattern 2. Let's see what happens as we're pulling into 1120. I've still got a breakout trade order sitting on the Russell. I'm looking for a breakout of a pattern 5. So we had a pattern 5 that formed at 1040. And if the market goes above that price, and if I have any time left until 1130, then I'm going to look for a breakout up into 1130, but it has to go above 44 before I'm interested.
found out a long time ago. We can take you in ways don't already know. I gotta be sorry. I know. Time in the window, in the evening on the Friday night. There's a light coming from the window. I have a gas to make your mind
A lot. Yeah, when it comes to that. Guys, hang on 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, guys, sorry about that. All right, well, got a little breakout trade. I picked up 5 points off of it on the Russell on the way up. Had a little pop and took a little scalp up. Should push on up into 1130. Pattern 5 over on the ES. We are at a higher high price, new high of day at a buying time here at 1120. And yeah, if it closes a selling candle, I'd need to see a pretty strong pullback on this bar before I'd be interested in buying the market. But it looks like it's going to put in a higher high. It's at least something I want to be very cautious of, because there's a good possibility that by the close of this bar, the market pulls back potentially into the dot price. So it's not a place that I'm super interested in taking a buy. If anything, I'd be looking for a counter trend short. I have weekly resistance just above me at 43.79. We'll see where it goes. Crude, I was actually on the phone a minute ago and I missed our sell. So the sell came in, worked out pretty decent. That is still in play. 1121, we're coming to the reversal of that. See where this market's going to go. Man, volatility. I don't remember, honestly, if I'm honest, I don't remember the last time I saw the crude 3-minute chart at 87 cents a bar. 87 cents every 3 minutes. This market is losing its mind. So again, very extreme volatility here. ES, we're running 3 times the ATR value today. The projection, normally the market will do 2 times. Today it's doing virtually 3 times. So we started off this morning with 5 points. We're looking for 10, and it's actually been running at 15 points per bar. So today the volatility is 50% greater than with a typical projection. So again, very volatile markets today. Lots and lots of movement. Pulling down into a buy time. Counter trend pattern 1 on the crude, not really interested. The 15-minute is coming into a trend reversal right there. Says we should be favoring shorts for till 4 o'clock this afternoon, but we are entering the new power zone at the extreme low. So good possibility we see a bounce right back up off that 15-minute. Grand Central Station today. Pattern 5 over on the ES. Counter trend, counterintuitive, ending up with a selling bar. So it's not an entry pattern 5, as the bar at the signal time was a sell instead of a buy. So let's see what it continues to do here. Tell you what, I think the crude is probably going to push back up pretty strongly until the market breaches the low of 105.16. If it goes below 105.16, that's going to be a violation of the pattern 4. But until it goes below 105.16 or until it pulls into a pattern 5, we got here. Did we get here from a pattern 5? No, we missed the pattern 5 at the top by 1 bar, 2 bars. Yeah, it was not a pattern 5 at the top. So because we have a pattern 4, the market is probably going to continue grinding its way up until we get a pattern 5, and a pattern 5 would then establish the new range. So watch for the market to continue pushing on back up here. All right, guys, I think I'm going to call it. Let's see where we're at for the day. We made any cash today. Oh, today is 322. Let's pull up a chart. Today we are on 3.2 and going to 3.2. Today's 3.2. Why won't you cooperate? January, February, March. Interesting. 223. Okay. What is going on with this dumb thing? What is the deal? Ninja wants to be hateful some days. All right. Well, Today, not a great win rate today. Today we've only won 57.14% of the trades. I've had 14 executions, a little more than normal. So a few more than typical. Profit factor has been a 3, so that's not too terrible. We've had to pay the man $60.20, so got some commissions in there. Had actually some pretty decent little runs today. I'm going to close out the day with 1847.30, so that's not a bad day. That 2 little trades on the ES and on the Russell. Could have got a lot more out of the Russell, but that wasn't too bad. And some nice crude trades today, so kind of a nice little run today. Today and yesterday together so far for the month of March, we are at $2,471. So we're at $2,471 for the month of March. We've had 21 executions and 66.67% profitable. So today, not a bad day. Took a little heat early. Again, the market took it a while to turn back around. We're going to add that to our yearly totals. And so far for this year, we're at $28,201 off of our 1 contract beginning trades. Occasionally get a scale in there. Profit factors are 1.4 overall. We've had 400 trades so far. 411 trades in 2.5 months, a little over 2 months. That's a lot. 62.77% of those trades have made money. And this is generating our equity curve for our room results. So we're still doing okay. So clunking along. So for today, going to close it back out. Not going to do anything else. Closing us back out today on, why is this thing going to be hateful? I don't know. Some days it is. We're going to close out today with 1847.30. Thank you everybody for hanging around. I appreciate you being here. Hope everybody has a great afternoon. And I will see you guys tomorrow. We'll do it one more time this week. Same channel, same time. Thanks again, everybody, and have a great day.